It is time for our weekly Mayor's Chat and time to check in with St. Catharines Mayor Walter Sendzik. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well, Bob.
First up, the city had a pre-budget consultation with MP Vance Badaway. What was the big ask in that one? What are you looking for?
Actually, just before we get to that, Bob, I just want to say to our Ukrainian community that the city
of course.
St. Catharines,
yes,
our Ukrainian community, and to wake up to that, and CHCH has done such a great job offering the coverage that we're seeing in the Ukraine as Russia invades a democratically elected government and country, and so here in St. Catharines we have one of the largest populations of people with Ukrainian heritage, including myself, and I know that today's a very difficult day for Ukrainians in our country, and so I just wanted to say that we stand in solidarity with our Ukrainian community.
Yeah. Do you have any personal contacts on the ground that you've been communicating with?
We have here in our community, we have a very strong network of Ukrainian families, and my family goes back to the 1920s, and the reason why my grandmother with her family had left Ukraine was because of the oppression of the Russian governments. And so when you hear the stories that have come out over the generations of people who have been impacted by this kind of aggression, you look today and we feel that this shouldn't be happening in any of the countries in the world, and unfortunately it's unfolding again like we saw in World War II. So these are unsettling times, Bob, and I know that I speak for a lot of people in our community. We stand with our Ukrainian brothers and sisters.
Yeah, and before we get to city business, and I'll ask you, there's a long history here. Are you hopeful, with the world condemnation of this, that there can be a resolution?
I would say there must be one. If we haven't learned from history, we're destined to repeat it. And so, my hope is that the world leaders, including all world leaders, so looking to China, looking to Brazil, looking to South Africa and other countries that have so far been quiet, looking for all world leaders to stand up and say, this is not something that should be accepted on any level. And so these are unsettling times, and I'm proud of our Canadian government and the stance they're taking here today as well.
Okay, and thank you for your comments on that as we continue to cover this distressing and disturbing story, big story. Well, the big stories in St. Catharines, back to it, back to business, and again with the pre-budget consultations, what's on your wish list?
Well, we're looking for continued support on infrastructure. We're a growing community here in St. Catharines, and so in order for us to be able to afford the kind of infrastructure growth that's taking place, we're going to continue to need the support from upper levels of government. The province, we've asked from the province for safe restart funding, and we're also saying to the federal government when it comes to transit and infrastructure growth that we need to continue to have that certainty of funding that comes into our communities. And so we've been asking, and the federal government has been receptive of continuing to invest in the core infrastructure, clean water for our pipelines, making sure that we're investing in our water, wastewater, the kind of infrastructure that sometimes we take for granted, cost a lot of money, and we need the partnerships from the upper level of government.
The Niagara transit picture, the consolidation, you've got the triple majority required. What are the next steps?
Well, it's all coming together, and 2022 is going to be about getting the Consolidated Transit Commission up and running, so getting the board members, hiring a general manager, making sure that the agreements between the three existing transit commissions and organizations are brought together. It's going to be a busy 2022, but we're hoping to be operational by 2023. And again, this is going to change how people see public transit in Niagara for years to come. And so these early steps are very important that we get it right. And in getting it right, we're going to be able to provide a very extensive transit system here in Niagara that is decades overdue, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, many benefits come with that. Well, we appreciate your time this morning, as always. Oh, by the way, we know it's your birthday on Monday, so are you going to watch the show on Monday? Because we're planning, we're going to gush out a big shout out on best wishes.
Okay, Bob, I watch every day, and unfortunately, obviously, someone told you it was my birthday coming up on Monday, so I am trying to quietly close out my 40s in a very quiet way. So it's a big
So
birthday.
this is a milestone.
It is a milestone birthday, yeah. It's 50. I'm turning 50, Bob.
Well, TV shaves off 10 years because you don't look it at all. Just hey,
I feel it, though.
hey, you look great, and it's great to see you. We'll chat again next week. St. Catharines Mayor Walter Sendzik.